Okay. So first of all, the symmetrical configuration, we have to design the symmetrical configuration. Symmetrical configuration means in each arm we have to use one thyristor and one diode. And asymmetrical configuration means in each arm we have to use two thyristor. And in the first arm we have to connect two thyristor. In the second arm we have to connect two diode respectively. And we know the calculation because we already know how to trigger or how to turn on our thyristor, because we have a clear knowledge about the frequency. Because rectifier means obviously it can convert from a, the source is AC, but the output terminal across the resistive load, we are getting pulsating DC output voltage. So that's why the supply frequency, we know that the India's supply frequency, standard frequency is 50 hertz. So how can we find out the time period? Time period means 1 by 50, that is 20 millisecond. So that means the total entire full cycle, as per the definition of frequency, the total first half and the second half, the total entire full cycle is 20 millisecond. But if we are consider only positive half and the negative half respectively, then again the time period should be 10 millisecond. So according to our time period, if we have to calculate the firing angle, suppose the firing angle is 30 degree for first thyristor for the positive half, so the negative, so the second thyristor firing angle should be first 180 degree plus 30. So 180 plus 30, that is 210 degree. So 210 degree is the second sequence when we are turning on, we want to turn on our second thyristor. So we have to calculate the time period for the 210 degree in this way. That is 180 degree is equals to 10 millisecond. So 1 degree should be 10 by 180. So 210 degree should be 10 millisecond into 180 divided by 210. So that is the particular firing angle, and this firing angle, this time period with respect to our firing angle, we have to put that time period. We have to put that time period in the particular gate sequence or gate pulse. Okay. So let's start. So it is a Simulink library browser, MATLAB. If you are installed MATLAB, there are various types of MATLAB version is available in internet, but I have to suggest you to install. If you are having MATLAB software, then try to install the latest version, that is 2015, 2016, 17, 18, etc. Because otherwise, nowadays, MATLAB, whenever you are connecting internet in your laptop or desktop, then MATLAB automatically want update. And if you click that update option, then it will take a huge amount of space in your desktop or laptop. That is a huge amount of space it is required. So please try to install the latest version. Okay. So from the Simulink, MATLAB Simulink, there is a Simulink library browser, and from the Simulink library browser, we only want some specific elements which is required for our electrical experiments. That is SimScape, Sim Power System. If you click on the Simulink library, you can see that there is a SimScape. And this SimScape option, you can see that there is a specialized technology, that option is there. And from the specialized technology, we want from the power electronics library, we want thyristor. There are various types of SCR switches is there. Detailed thyristor, diode, GTO, ideal switch. Ideal switch means initially the loss of internal loss should be equals to 0. IGBT diode, MOSFET diode combination, 3-level bridge, thyristor, universal bridge. Universal bridge means 3 arms, 3 thyristor, 6 thyristor is there. So that is your universal bridge. Or we can change our SCR switch by IGBT diode, MOSFET, etc. We can vary the switches accordingly. But from this power electronics library, we just want thyristor, not detailed thyristor. We want specific 2 thyristor. So 2 thyristor and 2 diode is required. So I'm dragging 1 thyristor. So this is 1 thyristor. And this one is diode. So control R. Diode is rotating, control R, control R. Then control R, control R, control R. Okay. So this is 1 thyristor. I'm copying. Copy. Paste. So this one is the second thyristor. This one is 1 diode. This is 1 diode. And again after. So this one is the second diode. Fine. Now from the element we want series RLC branch. Okay, so this is series RLC branch, but as per our circuit requirement, we want a resistive load. So there is the RLC. This combination is there, but if you click on this RLC branch, a block parameter will appear in your screen, and you can see that there is an option that is the branch type is RLC, but you can choose your branch type by only capital R. So this is our resistive load. Okay, so I am choosing from RLC branch, series RLC branch. I want only capital R. So because we want to connect one a resistive load, so that's why I am choosing purely resistance, capital R. So control R. Complete. Now, to see the output voltage and the output current, to measure the output voltage and output current, we want to connect scope. Or first of all, we want to connect a measurement material or measurement parameter. So that means voltage measurement. We have to connect the voltage measurement block, and we have to connect the current measurement block. Current measurement block is nothing but our ammeter, and voltage measurement block is nothing but our voltmeter. It acts as a voltmeter, and current measurement block means it acts as a ammeter. So this one is our current measurement block, and this one is our voltage measurement block. So we know that the connection of voltmeter should be connected across the load in parallel way, and ammeter should be connected in with the load in series. So that's why I'm the current measurement block. I'm putting the current measurement block in this way, and the voltage measurement block I'm putting this voltage measurement block in this way. Okay. Then to turn on our thyristor, we know that there are various types of procedure to turning on our power electronics switches, but among them, a very popular technique which is now implemented in recent circuit element also, that is our gate triggering. So that means we have to generate a pulse which is pulse signal. We have to put the pulse signal in the gate terminal of the thyristor or the SCR, and then with the help of that particular pulse, our thyristor or the SCR will turn on. So from the commonly used block, if you open the Simulink library browser, then you can see there is a commonly used block, and then there is a signal routing. So from this signal routing, then there is a sink and the source. So from that particular source, I'm choosing gate pulse. Okay. So gate pulse, so there is a 2 thyristor, and the sequence should be, if we turn on our first thyristor at an angle 30 degrees, so the second thyristor should be turned on at an angle 210 degrees. So we want to get pulses or pulse generator. Okay, fine. Now next we know that the function of the rectifier. Rectifier should be connected with the AC supply, and the output terminal we are getting pulsating DC voltage. So in the source side of the rectifier should be, we have to connect one electrical source, and that electrical source should be AC voltage source. Okay, so this one is our AC voltage source. I am putting the AC voltage source in this way. So now I want to connect all the elements in the circuit. So cathode to anode, this part is connected. This gate terminal is connected with the first thyristor. The gate terminal is connected to the second thyristor also. So then again, cathode to cathode. Okay. So the connection is there. Okay. Okay, fine. Now the voltmeter. Voltmeter should be connected in parallel with respect to our load. Please draw the model. Okay, draw the MATLAB model, because if you try to simulate this entire circuit, you want the MATLAB model. Now, scope. The purpose of the scope is acts as an oscilloscope. Okay, as in the hardware laboratory, we have the oscilloscope. So similarly, in power electronics, in MATLAB model simulation also, we need a scope, and the purpose of the scope is nothing but just like our oscilloscope. So in the scope terminal, you can see that only one output is there, but we want to check the two output parameters, that is voltage and current. So if you double click in the source scope, then you can see that there is a setting option. In that particular setting option, you can change the number of axes. Number of axes should be 2. Okay. So the number of axes, you can see that I'm choosing number of axes should be 2. So this is our first parameter, that is the output voltage, and the second parameter which we want to see, that is our output current. So output voltage and output current both are connected with the scope. Now we want another block, and that is called continuous block. So the purpose of the continuous block, what is the purpose of this continuous block? Because whenever we are whenever we are doing model, or whenever we are designing whenever we are designing any kind of power electronics model in MATLAB Simulink, MATLAB Simulink page, then you can see that it is nothing but a equation. I already discussed with all of you which kind of equation is this, because if you check each and every parameter in that particular circuit, either it is resistance or the source voltage or the gate pulse or the thyristor, there is a if you click if you click the option if you double click in that particular parameter, you can see that there is an option, and the option is loop under mask. And if you click on that loop under mask, you can see that there is a steady state equation is there. So the equation means actually we can just visualize only the output diagram, that is the thyristor means only the symbol of thyristor we can visualize, but inside that particular thyristor there is a steady state equation. So this model which we are designing in this MATLAB Simulink page, that is nothing but a steady state equation, a problem. So this kind of problem can be solved by some numerical method, and this numerical method is there, that is the trapezoidal method, and that is ODE method, that is there are mm, another option is there. Okay, so the simulation, so that means this equation can be solved by some numerical method. Okay, so Gauss-Seidel method. So these are the method which will help to solve this procedure or solve this equation, entire mathematical problem. So that problem, or that as it is a continuous function, so this continuous block will help to solve the entire circuit, entire problem. Okay, so the purpose of this continuous block to solve the entire mathematical problem, nothing else. So now we have to put the parameter value. So first of all, source voltage. Source voltage that is 220 volt. We are choosing 220 volt, and the supply frequency, we know that the supply frequency is 50 hertz. I will write it. Okay, I will write the each and every parameter value. Don't worry. The pulse generator. So pulse generator is amplitude period is 10 millisecond, 10 into the power minus 3. Now phase delay. Phase delay is, first phase delay means obviously the firing angle. So we have to calculate if 10 millisecond is equals to, if 180 degree equals to 10 millisecond, so 10 into um, 10 into e to the power minus 3 into 30 divided by, that is 3 point. Please calculate. If 30 degree, if 180 degree is equals to 10 millisecond, then 30 degree phase delay should be is equals to the time period. Please calculate and tell me. Half cycle, that is full cycle, should be 20 millisecond, and half cycle that should be is equals to either positive half or the negative half, that should be is equals to 10 milliseconds. So 10 into e to the power minus 3. So 180 degree equals to 10. 10 equals to 10 into 10 e to the power minus 3. Then 30 degree means what? Calculate and find out what is the value of phase delay. Please write down in the chat box. Take calculator and calculate 180 degree equals to 10 milliseconds, then 30 degree is equals to the time period. Calculate. Calculate and tell me. Half cycle, that means 180 degree is equals to hurry up, calculate. 180 degree is equals to 10 milliseconds. So 30 degree is the firing angle for the first thyristor. So what will be the phase delay? Calculate and tell me. You can write in the chat box. Better. Chat box में लिखो. Very easy calculation. 180 degree is equals to 10 millisecond. मतलब first half है 10 millisecond. So 30 degree means time period क्या होगा? 1 degree means 10 millisecond divided by 180 degree. So 30 degree means 10 millisecond into 30 divided by 180. Simple mathematical calculation. Just tell me. Use your calculator and calculate the firing angle or the phase delay for the first thyristor and the first arm.
Ma'am, 1.6, ma'am. 1.6 seconds.
1.6 e to the power minus 3.
Yes, ma'am. On in the power minus.
1.6 e to the power minus 3. So the phase delay for the first thyristor should be 1.6 e to the power minus, sorry, to the power minus 3. Okay. So for the second gate pulse, the time period here also the time period is 10 millisecond, 10 e to the power minus 3. And the phase delay, if the phase delay, that means if the firing angle for the first thyristor is 30 degree, so the firing angle for the next thyristor should be 30 plus 180, that means 210. So if we find out the firing angle, that is the time period for the first thyristor, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3. So the time period for the next thyristor should be 10 plus 10 millisecond plus 1.6 into e to the power minus 3, that is 11.6 e to the power minus 3. So the phase delay for the second thyristor, that is 11.6 e to the power minus 3. And the resistance we are choosing, that resistance is 10 ohm. Now टाइम पीरियड ठीक तरीके से कैलकुलेट नहीं हुआ है, टाइम पीरियड कैलकुलेट करो, आउटपुट डिजायर आउटपुट नहीं आ रहा है, पिन राइट हियर, और मैं ही कैलकुलेट कर देती हूँ। टाइम पीरियड ठीक तरीके से कैलकुलेट करो, टाइम पीरियड कैलकुलेशन ठीक नहीं हुआ है। वन 180 डिग्री, 180 डिग्री, फिर से कैलकुलेट करो टाइम पीरियड। 180 डिग्री इज इक्वल टू 10 मिलीसेकंड। एक बार फिर से, for the second thyristor, the delay angle is 10 millisecond, that means positive half is 10 milliseconds. So for the second angle, the firing angle is 210 degree. So that means 10 e to the power minus 3 plus 1.66 e to the power minus 3, that is 11.66 e to the power minus 3. So I will show you the output voltage and current waveform. Okay, I'm showing you. So I think you can now see the output voltage and the current waveform. So this is the voltage and the current waveform across the resistive load which we are getting if we consider the firing angle is 30 degree. For the first thyristor and the second sequence should be 210 degree. Then we can get across the load voltage, we are getting this kind of voltage and current waveform. So the parameter value should be the source voltage. Please write down the parameter value. The parameter value is the source voltage 210 volt. Okay, so the 210 volt AC source and the frequency is the standard frequency, that is 50 hertz we are choosing. So this is the voltage and this is the current. The first parameter is output voltage and the second parameter is the output current. Please draw the output voltage and the current waveform. So So in the x-axis, we are selecting the time. In the y-axis, we are choosing the magnitude. So the output voltage and the output current is showing by the with the help of scope. If you click on that particular scope, you can see the output parameter value or waveform. That is output voltage and current waveform. You can see. So this is our output voltage and current waveform. Okay. Please draw the output voltage and current waveform. So now, so that means this is our symmetrical configuration of the single phase half control rectifier. Now the source voltage value 220 volt. To 20 volt and the supply frequency that is 50 hertz. Okay, so 220 volt 50 hertz. This is the source specification. Now the pulse generator specification. Amplitude that is 1. Then pulse width that is 5 seconds. Okay. Then time period that is 10 e to the power minus 3, 10 millisecond. And delay means the firing angle. So the firing angle is 30 degree we are choosing. So 1.66 e to the power minus 3. Okay. So this is the specification for the first pulse generator. The second pulse generator specification is amplitude 1, pulse width 5 seconds, time period 10 millisecond. Then phase delay, that is the second sequence is 210 degree. We are turning on our thyristor. So 11.66 e to the power minus 3. Why 11.66? Because 10 millisecond is the time period for the positive half. So that means if we are positive half means 180 degrees. Suppose 30 degrees is the firing angle for the first thyristor. So the next thyristor, next sequence should be 180 degree plus 30, that is 210. Similarly, if we calculate the time period, so 10 millisecond plus 1.66, that is 11.66 is the second sequence or second firing sequence of the thyristor. And the load resistance, that is capital R, should be equals to 5 ohm. Simulation method. Simulation method we choose, that is ODE 23 TB, trapezoidal method. Okay. And simulation time, that is 10 seconds. Okay. So simulation method is trapezoidal method, and that is ODE 23 TB. If you click on that simulation button, you can see that there are various types of simulation methods are there. Trapezoidal method, Gauss-Seidel method, etc. So from that particular simulation method, we have to choose to ODE 23 TB. That is a trapezoidal method, and the simulation type is 10 seconds. So this is the specification for symmetrical configuration of single phase half control rectifier considering resistive load. The purpose of the scope is to show actually the scope will show the output parameter waveform. Okay, the voltage and the current waveform. The purpose of the scope is just like our oscilloscope. So please draw the entire circuit, draw the specification of the particular parameter, and write down the specification of the particular parameter. That is the pulse generator specification is very much important. If the calculation of pulse generator is slightly wrong, or if you are not able to calculate the particular firing delay, then the output waveform will not you not get the desired output waveform. Okay, so please write down the pulse generator specification, and that is very much important. So this is the symmetrical configuration. Similarly, in the symmetrical configuration, you have to replace one diode in the first arm and connect the second thyristor in the first arm. And in the place of the second thyristor, you have to connect that particular diode. That means the diode and the thyristor connection will be interchanged. This thyristor will come in this side and the diode will come into this side. Okay. So please draw the circuit and write down the parameter value. Write down the specification and draw the circuit.